Okay, does this happen to anybody else? You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, "Don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food." But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with the 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Score a 2 for $5 deal on a sausage McMuffin with egg and more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
As a man, finding a great pair of pants feels harder than it should. Some look sharp but feel stiff. Others are comfortable but wrinkle, stain, or lose their shape by noon. And if you're working, traveling, or constantly on the move, most pants just cannot keep up. That's where Jack Archer comes in.
JackArcher.com delivers one pair of pants designed for real life. Whether it's golf with the guys or date night with someone special, these pants will keep you comfortable and looking polished wherever the day takes you.
That's right, Mark. The Jack Archer Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built to hold its shape all day. With customizable fit options and multiple colors, these are the one pair of pants you'll want to wear every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order with code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
In the middle 50s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
I love listening to play-by-play games on KFH radio.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey Wichita, it's Jacob Albracht. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. This just in, the NBA All-Star Game, or games, were not the biggest waste of time ever. The new round-robin format involving Team Stars, Team Stripes, and a World Team actually worked. 3 of the 4 games were actually compelling before the old heads gassed out in the final game. So, congratulations to Adam Silver for not having a completely unwatchable product again. Or more likely, thank you to Wemby for entering the weekend and saying that he would go hard and would actually try. And he set the tone for everybody else. My question is, if this guy doesn't try, does anybody else? And by the way, no credit for actually trying. Don't act like you shut everybody up who's cracked on this game for years, or do we owe you some sort of an apology? No credit for trying or caring. Yes, it worked this time, but let's see if it works next year, because it's not the format that matters. It's whether or not the players actually care. They did this time, but will they next year? I'm Jim Rome.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Well, hey there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Sports Daily. Jacob Albracht, TJ Cleveland here on a Tuesday, still reacting to the news of the Jerome Tang firing, and it is getting messier, I think is probably the right word. We'll dig into all the latest, plus voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson, joins us. Probably not to give a ton of insight into what's happening there as much as where do you go from here for K-State. They play a basketball game tonight against Baylor, which you'd hear, by the way, right here on KFH. Pregame coverage begins at 7 o'clock. So we've got that for you. Big night in the Big 12 last night, big showdown there. The Olympics roll on. We continue into mock draft season. But honestly, the headlines dominated right now because it's not just a big local story, it's becoming a big national story with Jerome Tang. We'll dig into all the latest, all the things we're finding on it. All of the headlines I probably missed will be coming later as well. And it's all brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company. What's on tap? Now featuring the seasonal release English Mild, easy to drink at only 3.4 ABV, but full of flavor to warm you up through the last of winter here. Well, need to warm up today. English Mild available at all 3 WBC locations, East, West, Historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. Nice summer brew, you might say, as we're going to push some records today, get up close to 80 degrees. So be careful out there. No fires. It's windy. But we're TJ, how are you this morning?
Very windy outside. Jacob, did you watch Iowa State last night?
I did. Well, yes, most of, yes.
How late did you make it? That's my question.
We were trying to finish Fallout at the same time, so it was kind of one of those watch both at the same time. But we were
so
also
Did you make it to triple zeros?
I made it into the second half, then we got pulled away, and then I was kind of scoreboard watching the end.
Yeah.
So most of the first half, into the second half a little bit off and on, and then I saw that my live Houston plus 6.5 bet hit at triple zeros. Yes.
Yeah. I fell asleep at halftime. But that's my whole point this morning. I wonder how many people listen to our show. Like, do you think that the majority of our listeners are go to bed early people? Because if they're listening to our show, they're probably in their car driving to work.
We get two waves of people. So both, we get two waves. We come at you from 7 to 11. So I think we get all kinds of. I think we get a wide net, a wide variety.
The people that are listening to me talk right now, I would imagine didn't make it to triple zeros. I'd say 70% of people.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Maybe so.
I'm finding a way to justify myself not staying awake for that game.
It was over by 10-15, I think it was. So it wasn't that's about what, somewhere around 10-15, then 10:30. That's what time I'm trying to force myself to go to bed. Listen, I wanted to see Houston. That's a big game for the Big 12. I don't worry so much about the outcome because Iowa State's very good and hard to beat at home. I just needed to get a good look at Houston. We haven't seen them a ton this year, especially in a big-time game like that. And because I like Houston's profile quite a bit, and they're a team I may, when the dust settles, I may be picking Houston to win a national championship again this year. Picked them last year. So I wanted to get a good look at them, and I like them. I mean, it's a lot of the same that we've seen, plus some really talented young players. And Iowa State just continues to be, I don't know, do we want to call them as balanced? As deep. They're just really good at everything. So it was a good game. I liked it. I appreciated that it was there. It's interesting to have not Kansas on a big Monday 8:00 tip for the first time.
I know. I'm used to having to force myself to stay awake on a big Monday because it's like, oh, KU's playing the number 2 team in the country again. Let's stay up and watch this one. So instead we're going to do that on Wednesday night. Except I'll be getting paid to do that at work, so I'll be fine.
It's nice to have an escape from the Jerome Tang conversation.
It never leaves. I see it in my dreams.
You're living in a place of that story that I refuse to, and that's exhausting.
I can't even get away. I can't open my phone and get away from the story right now. And I'll spend an entire segment. Jacob may not even talk in one of these segments with how these people are reacting to it. Like, I don't think people understand laws. People, it's ridiculous.
I can't. So TJ is locked into to social media, and I'm not. And it's good. It's good that we're both here because I'm just trying to I take these kinds of stories not from a sense of this is how we did the same thing with Kleiman, right? Like I'm trying to take them. Does Tang have a case? Does K-State have a case? Should he have been fired? Did they make the right decision? Why did they make the decision? What are the chances they settle? Those kinds of things. But I miss most of the here's how the crazy, Twitter super reactors are. Like I don't catch a lot of that. And TJ catches all of it. And it's exhausting. I get it. Like there's a lot. I don't do it on purpose.
The difference between, and I want to dig into this way more, but the Kleiman stuff is like that one kind of felt like it was just some people that were the outliers that were just, like he needs to go. And I'm like, okay, you're being an idiot. Like, I'm not going to pay attention to that. This one, I mean, if you see anybody with a Power Cat in their profile picture or anything K-State related in their profile, they are posting about how Jerome Tang is a snake oil salesman and how he needs to go for and I'm like, what are you talking about?
What is the average age, do you think, of those people you're referencing? 22,
I don't know.
23?
Maybe. I mean, but they're like K-Staters are kind of nuts, and we've talked about it. KU people are too.
You're catching a small. That's why I try not to live there. You're catching a misrepresented demographic that is skewed, certainly. So I bet if you go to Facebook, you'll probably see a different kind of reaction. Here's what happens. You get a little older and you appreciate the things that made Jerome Tang very likable, right? You appreciate that he values a lot of the things that he values. You appreciate that he wears his heart on his sleeve. You appreciate that he says the things that he feels and he means it. Until some of these post-game press conferences, which is a part of the problem. But, you appreciate those things. When you're young, you're 22, you're like, I don't care about any of that crap. Just win basketball games, man. I want to have fun. That's the only thing you care about. And so
my two big things. My two big things I want to say here before we talk to Wyatt is that, one, people are, defending K-State on this and saying that, well, I heard that Jerome Tang did this and this and this. I'm like, guess what, buddy? That's hearsay. This is the court of law. Unless there are things that say things it's conspiracies. We talk about conspiracy theorists on the show all the time. They're conspiracies until something comes out about it. We do journalism, Jacob, and we haven't heard about any of these things. Are they real? Maybe, but you can't say those. Or you can't say it's a thing. Two, people are getting up in arms because some people don't understand what's going on. And they're like, well, yeah, he deserved to be fired. They were terrible. We're not talking about that, man.
Right.
You're correct in that. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, that's not at issue at the moment. They fired him. He's fired. It was, it's then bad enough.
Then the poor national reporters that don't follow K-State. Dickie V yesterday chimed in. Did you see this?
Yeah,
Dickie V chimed in and said, "Come on, he just had a down year."
Nationally, you're going to have coaches defend Tang and want him to get paid, but guys like Michael Wilbon thought he should have been fired for cause. So you're going to get all over the map reactions to this, and
Kornheiser said no.
That's all a part of the conversation. None of it really matters to the issue at hand now, which is whether or not $18 million is going one way or the other. That's where all this comes from. We'll dig into all of it, but let's get feel for what in the world's going on inside the program. Wyatt Thompson's with us next. We got a lot more on this. Your calls, commentary, all welcome and available on the show today. Stick around. We got more Sports Daily coming right now.
This is Sports Radio KFH.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else? You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food. But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with a 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Score a 2 for $5 deal on a sausage McMuffin with egg and more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Buying pants shouldn't take this much effort. Too many options, inconsistent sizing, and styles that don't work across your day. You want something comfortable, sharp, and reliable without guessing, returning, or buying 5 different pairs. That's why there's Jack Archer.
Ah, yes. JackArcher.com simplifies everything with the Jet Setter Tech Pant. One versatile pair designed to take you from work to weekend without missing a beat. Easy to wear, easy to style, and easy to shop for. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. They stretch, breathe, and hold their shape, giving you a consistent fit and polished look every time. Backed by thousands of 5-star reviews, they're the dependable pants you'll reach for daily.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order with code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Major problems on the main roads, but there is construction on Southeast Boulevard northbound at 31st Street. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather. Decreasing clouds, very windy and warm today. High 73 with a southwest wind 20 to 30. Some gusts, though, over 40 miles per hour. Becoming clear tonight at 42. Sunny, breezy, and still warm on Wednesday. High 70. It's back over to windy on Thursday and much cooler with temperatures holding in the middle 50s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Not everybody is, top end. Not everybody is Mahomes or Brady. You have to have quarterbacks that you can just trust. And that's what Sam Darnold will probably be the rest of his career. Yeah, he won that one, but, the defense carried him. However he parses this out, he's still got a Super Bowl.
The Dan Patrick Show, middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Dude, you gotta hear this.
Go ahead. I think I want to hear this.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
We welcome you back in here. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up each and every morning. It's been, I'm sure, a lot of late nights for Wyatt Thompson. Another strange and uncomfortable story, Wyatt. This has been an emotionally exhausting year for you, I'm sure, with the Chris Kleiman, post-game things that happened that led to a retirement. Now we've got a bunch of post-game things that lead to a firing and a big legal battle brewing. You hanging in there?
Yeah, I guess as much as you possibly can. I think we all understand that this basketball team has gone through lots and lots of struggles this year, and I've said in other interviews that just the inconsistencies, I think, really have driven people crazy in trying to love and follow this team like they normally would. Sunday was a really odd one because I don't know that any of us saw what happened Sunday night playing out now. Maybe eventually, but not now. But I got a call around 5:30 or so, and was made aware of to be on standby that there could be an announcement later tonight, and it was stunning. I'm not going to kid you. I was not expecting that in any way. And now, after that little press conference held by Gene Taylor, we have an interim coach, and we'll be looking for a new head coach. And as you said, there's some controversy with this, so it's a mess and it's a headache. But you're going to have to deal with it and get through it.
It's a headache for sure. Wyatt, I want to know, since you were with them in Houston, I would have to imagine, Gene talked a lot about that. That's kind of when the decision was made. As there was a basketball game going on in front of you, I'm sure you talked to Coach Tang after the game. Was it just kind of normal business? Nobody had any idea, as you're saying, right?
100%. And, I think he was very, very proud of the way the guys fought. He challenged them after the Cincinnati game. And as you guys know, the post-game press conference with Cincinnati was, a big headline, or headlines, I guess. And I think he, just being around those guys for several days there leading up to the game in Houston, he did challenge them. There's no doubt about that, whether you like it or whether you don't. And his thought process is that they really responded. They jumped out to a 15-6 lead against a really good team who, in all honesty, was probably pretty flat out of the gate. And then once they kind of got cooking and K-State started to kind of fade back into, turnover city there for a little bit, the next thing you know, they're down 33-19 at half. But he was pretty typical in post game in that this was unexpected. I'm just telling you it was. I've been led to believe. I think there was some discussion, as far back as maybe Thursday night into Friday, and then I think. As you said, Gene's been gone. Gene Taylor, our athletic director, has been gone a lot with meetings. He's on a committee to try to get some things done in terms of trying to make this world of college athletics a little bit more sane, and especially the football side of it. And then he admitted during his presser that he had talked to the president of the university, President Linton, and all of that kind of played out, through Saturday, through the game, and Saturday night and into Sunday morning, and more meetings. I think they met with Coach Tang Sunday morning and informed him of the decision, and then the announcement on Sunday night. So it was, I'm not going to kid you, it was a pretty bizarre, couple of days, but especially Sunday, 100%.
It's going to get more bizarre. I mean, Wyatt, it's, look. Ninth place, potentially 15th place finishes in the Big 12 3 years in a row with the resources that are coming into the program. I think just, from an easy, simple sports perspective, we can all look at that and be like, yeah, that can get you fired as a coach. There's a huge contract involved. And that's where I think at least we're surprised. Maybe that's where you're surprised too. And that's where now this gets messy, is the old for cause comment. And it's really unfortunate because this now plays out in the public eye very much so. Probably, Jerome Tang and his people would like for it to play out in the public eye. Mm-hmm. I wonder how much of that quick public eye, because it was only, I don't know, a week of being in the public eye, and then we get this decision. So now you've got everybody in the country reacting to this. I don't know who that favors in the impending legal battle. But boy, it seems like it would benefit everybody for that thing to get settled out. And I think maybe the pragmatic thing I'd ask you is, if K-State saves $1 million on the buyout, is the public black eye that could be coming worth it? I mean, is there that much at stake with that large amount of money that anything you can shave off of it is beneficiary to the school?
I totally respect and understand the question, but I don't think that's how they're looking at it. I know Mr. Taylor pretty much lined out that he was exceptionally unhappy with the comments that Coach Tang made after the Cincinnati game about these guys don't deserve to wear this uniform and all of those things. That was very troubling to him, right, wrong, or indifferent. I think it caught a lot of people by surprise, honestly, even though we all knew he was really, I mean, you'd be chapped too if your team just lost at home by 29 to a team that hadn't won it on the road all year long, right? And it really wasn't a very close game. And there's been a lot of frustration with that. I think everybody would admit that the messaging from Coach has been a little bit all over the map here in the last month. And sometimes they say, hey, I get it. Sometimes they go, what? You know? And so was that a factor? Maybe a little bit. But that, and there's more things that probably are out there that we don't know about. That's my thought process here. I know a lot of our people were frustrated with all the national media types like the Fran Fraschillas of the world and, you know, some of the things that they tweeted and said and what have you. But that's going to be part of this, man. You're right.
It is
just
now.
is. And I just think that Gene was unhappy with that, unhappy with the losing. We've seen a program go from 26 to 19 to 17 to 10 wins. That's a pretty legitimate downgrade. And I just think, right or wrong, probably some donors maybe said, we'll help you if it's time to get out. And I think that's the decision that was made with the with the president, you know, being on board too.
Yeah.
That's the kind of way it is. It's how this works.
Sidebar, you know, obviously you talked about not being, you know, okay with the losses and everything like that. The cause thing is one thing, but, you know, to not be coy, you know, if you're 20-10, it's not a conversation that we're having here on mid-February, basically.
Right.
I want to ask you why, you know, now as everybody's kind of, you know, reminiscing in a way, it's like, man, that's the Naismith Coach of the Year. This is a team that went to the Elite Eight. And, you know, we've asked the question on the show to you is that, like, what happened? Like, where did it go? Is that Naismith Coach of the Year still in there? If you had the answer, you'd probably have $18 million in your pocket.
Well, that's it. And, you know, I guess the only thing I would say to that, and I think it's a really good point because we were all, you know, exceptionally excited after that first year, and rightfully so. Regardless of how you look at it now, that was a team that, you know, I don't think the expectations were very high at all. I mentioned to a guy yesterday in an interview that the question was posed this way: would you give it back under the circumstances now? And I said no, without giving it a whole heck of a lot of thought, because of the experience of that was exceptional. I mean, you think early January, you know, they're playing pretty good, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang, they go to Texas and win, they go to Baylor and win.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, they're ranked in the top 10 in the country. And the next thing you know, you're winning NCAA tournament games and going to Madison Square Garden and watching Marquise Noel have one of the greatest, you know, postseasons in the history of the NCAA tournament. You think I want to give that back? I don't.
I agree.
I'm just being honest about that. I wouldn't give that back.
It's a good question.
But to your point there, what happened, what's different? Well, I think there are a lot of things that are different, but at the end of the day, I think what you have to look at is A, you know, the results, and B, probably, you know, the recruiting isn't what everybody had hoped it would be in the last 3 seasons. Have they gotten some quality players? Yes. Enough of them? I would say you could debate that all day long, but maybe the answer is no. They just do not have enough depth in the front court right now to compete at the highest level in the Big 12. And that's just one of the issues, but it's a damn big issue, frankly.
But it's not for a lack of resources. We've talked about
Correct.
it before. K-State has to stack up. Maybe not at the very top, but certainly not at the very bottom.
Right.
And I think if we laid out resources to basketball, finishes in the Big 12, there's a widening gap there. And so it's hard. Like, this is such a hard story because, again, the success level's not there. I don't think anybody disputes that. But now we've got this situation where it's going to be about a whole lot more than the success level because it's big business. You have people that there's $20 million, $18 million on the line, and we're going to get to a place where it's going to turn into all of these things that we're just all going to be like, wait, what? Like, why are we talking about that? But it's because of that. Everybody's trying to either make or save money. So do we have two things happening here? Because the success on the court, it's easy to justify, was not good enough.
Right.
But now we're going to have to take a guy who 6 months ago was as high character, universally thought of as high character as there is, and that's going to be called into question a lot. It's going to be really uncomfortable for a lot of people, I think.
That's perfectly said. I think what I would add to that is that most of us, we always, that word assume, right? $18+ million for a buyout. I think all of us were saying it ain't happening at that. They can't afford it. I was saying it, right?
Yeah, you can't until you can, I guess.
Yeah, and so it depends on how you look at this, but I think and I'm not an attorney by any stretch of the imagination, not even in the hemisphere of it, but most of the time these things are settled out of court. The question will be, will this one be, right? And I don't think any of us really know how that will go, but it isn't a good look, regardless of, the side you might potentially be on. And it's ugly when things like this happen in public. And I think a lot of people that aren't close to it, and I'm not picking on anybody, I won't even mention names, but I mentioned a moment ago, some of the national people, I'm just being honest, that they haven't been around here for the last 3 years watching, right? They don't know all of the underlying stories. That's all I'll say. But yet they don't have a problem tweeting out their opinion on, this is a great guy. How can you question that? Well,
Dickie V.
Not our basketball coach today.
Dickie V even chimed in, said it was a down year in Manhattan. Said Dickie V, they haven't made the tournament in 3 years.
And a down year in Manhattan's a fair thought, right? But this is more about him getting the buyout money for those guys.
Yeah, and I think people just have to, you got to just step back from it and not get yourself, because there's everybody that reacted in favor of Tang yesterday that I saw nationally was a former coach. And guess what? Former coaches think buyouts should be ironclad, right? The national people that thought it was over the top, have never had to deal with a buyout like that. I mean, there is a bias there, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. And it's fine if there is. It's irrelevant. The other question I think that's come up a lot is how damaging potentially is this to the university, to the program. I've said, I don't know if I've said it here, but when this was all coming down, I don't think this impacts however it plays out. I don't think it's going to impact who they hire next. I don't think that next coach will care. To me, this is all business now. K-State doesn't want to spend $18 million. Jerome Tang thinks he's owed $18 million. And that's the issue at hand. And it might get messy, but just at this point, unfortunately, it's just business.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly said, and I agree with that 1,000%. And the other thing I'll say is what we really truly don't know above everything else is the writing of that contract in terms of what is cause, what is harmful to the university.
Speaking of the contract, do you know the answer to this? If Jerome Tang were to get another job, does it void the buyout?
It voids part of it.
Yeah, I think it would void part of it, but I don't know the writing of the actual contract, so I would hate to.
That's going to be an important thing to watch, and why K-State probably offered a settlement is to let him go back.
And some have said, as an example, if he wants to coach again, and I don't mean coach again as being an assistant somewhere, but being a head coach somewhere. Most people would say, well, then he's going to settle. That's not the messaging from yesterday, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, Wyatt, I want to know some inside baseball from you here. Now, as you're getting ready for a Baylor game tonight. I don't know when your prep starts, but now you have to get ready for a Matthew Driscoll coached game. Does that change anything for you? What does that look like?
I went to practice yesterday for a little over an hour and talked to him briefly afterwards. And I told him that I appreciated him taking on this role because he has been a head coach. He's obviously a good man, and I appreciate him, stepping in under what has to be, most difficult circumstances, right? And I, kind of laid out what I would need, and I asked him, what he needs from me and all of those types of things. And he was good about it. I would tell you that at the practice, it wasn't the peppiest practice I've ever been to. I think, there were some long faces and what have you, and others were probably, about like normal. And that happens, right? But as an example, like Jareem Dowling. Jareem and Coach Tang are like brothers, and he was as down as I think I've ever seen him. But wouldn't you expect that? Of course you would. This is hard, man. And I felt like watching Gene Taylor Sunday night. That's the hard part. Everybody wants to be an athletic director and make that kind of money.
Exactly. That's what I talk a lot about the Kleiman situation, and now this as well, is that a lot of Purple fans out there are just like let's go, this is awesome. It's like you loved that guy 3 years ago. This is not a happy situation.
Right. Yeah, and it has changed. Let's be honest. This isn't like it was when K-State went to the Elite Eight in any way. Yeah. It's just kind of the reality of it. Yeah. What I'm hopeful of, and you guys know me, we've talked about this a lot of times before. I try to be pretty positive and look at the bright side. And at some point, someday, we're going to have this behind us, right? The question is, how do we get there and when? And right now, it's pretty difficult. But you hope that when it's all said and done, like you said, Jacob, that they'll. I don't see any. If there's a coach out there that is interested in this job, if he comes and looks and see what this place has to offer and all of that, I don't think you shy away from it.
Yep, I don't either. Wyatt, maybe they'll start winning basketball games. We'll find out tonight. Pregame coverage right here on KFH, 7 o'clock. Baylor, K-State. Wyatt, we appreciate it. We'll listen for you on the call.
Thank you, fellas. Great talking to you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
This is Sports Radio KFH.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else? You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food. But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with a 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Score a 2 for $5 deal on a sausage McMuffin with egg and more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Buying pants shouldn't take this much effort. Too many options, inconsistent sizing, and styles that don't work, across your day. You want something comfortable, sharp, and reliable without guessing, returning, or buying 5 different pairs. That's why there's Jack Archer.
Ah, yes. JackArcher.com simplifies everything with the Jet Setter Tech Pant. One versatile pair designed to take you from work to weekend without missing a beat. Easy to wear, easy to style, and easy to shop for. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. They stretch, breathe, and hold their shape, giving you a consistent fit and polished look every time. Backed by thousands of 5-star reviews, they're the dependable pants you'll reach for daily.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order with code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
This is attorney Omid Azari from Azari Law. If you've been injured in an accident and feel like no one is fighting for you, it's time to fight back. Call Azari Law at 888-828-HURT. Just with one call, you can put a proven legal team on your side. Azari Law has been serving the DMV for over 15 years, proudly fighting for our local community. I was born and raised right here in the DMV, and my team is made up of experienced, reputable local attorneys dedicated to fighting for injury victims just like you. Follow us on all social platforms at azari.law. That's AZARI.LAW. Don't wait, don't settle. Fight back with Azari Law. With offices in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, my team and I are ready to stand up for you. Call 888-828-HURT. That's 888-828-HURT. And let us fight back for you.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. 235 is heavy southbound heading on to K96 eastbound. Give yourself a few extra minutes to move through the area. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Decreasing clouds, very windy and warm today. High 73 with a southwest wind 20 to 30. Some gusts, though, over 40 miles per hour. Becoming clear tonight at 42. Sunny, breezy, and still warm on Wednesday. High 70. It's back over to windy on Thursday and much cooler with temperatures holding in the middle 50s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
The Wildcats.
3 wide open again, and it's perfect again.
Hit the court.
To the rim, layup good!
Right here.
Yeah! How about these Cats?
Be here every game as the Wildcats pounce the hardwood all season long. On your home for Kansas State Wildcat basketball.
K-State at home in Manhattan hosting Baylor. The Wildcats and the Bears. Live coverage of K-State men's basketball, 7 o'clock Tuesday night on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
The Jim Rome Show. After losing to OKC, LeBron James said, "We're not a championship team." Now tell us something we didn't already know. You're not contending for Jack if you don't guard anyone. They're probably not even a get out of the first round team, especially in the rugged West.
Jim Rome, afternoons at 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH, Wichita's most listened to sports radio. It's time to get back to the sports talk.
All right, let's do this thing. Go!
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on this Tuesday edition. Taco Bell is hooking you up with everything you need for the ultimate college hoops road trip. One winner scores a $700 StubHub gift card to pick the game or event they want to go to, $500 to cover their hotel stay, $50 gas card to get them there. All you have to do is text the keyword TACO to the number 20357 for your chance to win. Message and data rates apply. Must be 18 or older to enter. Full rules at kfhradio.com. Welcome back in, everybody. Sports Daily. Our thanks to Wyatt Thompson for being here. Questions that I need answered on the Jerome Tang situation, TJ. And I think it's, now that the dust has settled and we have time to think about some of these things, I need to know the clause if he is a head coach or assistant coach. I need to know, and I need to, sort of remind myself and maybe some other people out there that these things aren't usually like, it's not like he's getting an $18 million check. Probably, This is over a number of years. My guess would be it's over the number of years remaining on his contract. Basically, he would just get his salary over, you know what I mean? Like they would just pay his salary on top of. So those things matter in all of this. Greg Marshall was, I don't even know if we call it firing, whatever. He was paid out over a number of years, and it was not coaching, and those kinds of things were a part of all that. So there will be fine print on some of this stuff that will need to understand on it. If you think about it as it's not paid out all at once, if he wants to be a coach again, he doesn't get all of it, then I think you can probably make more sense of why K-State is taking this path. K-State's not going to sit there and challenge this, and it's $18 million or bust all at once. They got to write a check. This is all done, unless that's ruled out by a judge. Probably it's over a number of years. It's if he stays away from the sidelines and those kinds of things, and that's where when you propose to him, as the Manhattan Mercury reported yesterday, hey, end of the year, here's the amount of money, you finish it, we're going to force you to resign. You get, for everyone that's like, well, why on earth would he do that? Well, maybe because he doesn't want to sit out of coaching for the next 4 years. How many years is left on that contract? 4, right? 5 at $4 million each. 5 years. That's a big ad. I mean, that's a he may not want to do that. And so that's where some of this comes into play too. If you want to go coach again, take part of the settlement and go coach again next year if you want to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find it. I found his contract when he got his first extension, it looks like, but not the second extension. Because that was in 2024, correct? Mm-hmm. Was the second extension because it was right after the NIT.
And a lot of the second one, I think, had to do with assistant coach salaries and things like that.
Yes, but I think it had addendums into things, so I'll have to find out. I'll have to look. But there is a contract up you can go find. I'll have to dig through that. But there's something in there. I'm not sure if it's the level of like James Franklin's. I know is very notable of if he got like a new job, this would happen and this would happen. But things of that nature. But it's interesting. I really want to talk about Wyatt had a good question in there. I love a good hypothetical. The hypothetical of if you're a K-State fan that is upset with the way that the Tang tenure has gone and you think that it's been a black eye for the university these last 3 years, would you give back 2022, 2023 to just wash it all away and just have hired a coach back then that was normal?
For
normal's not the right word, but you know what
losing.
I mean.
Well, this goes into a great hypothetical that I always try to lay out.
If you could trade, I'll say this. Let's lay down the ground rules here. You trade it all away. Once Bruce Weber's fired, you go exactly 500. No, you're a bubble team every year, and you miss the tournament every year.
If you miss the tournament every year, well,
but
no,
you're right there.
Give that back because they've missed the tournament every year since that year anyway. So no, you're not giving it back in that scenario. You'd have to do something like.
But like, what were they doing?
You make the tournament. How many years? 4 years. You make the tournament. Well, let's call it. You make the tournament 3 times, but don't make it out of the first weekend.
I feel like that's better than what they had.
Trade?
I'm not asking. I feel like if you're gonna make the trade here, I think the way you got to think about it.
Well, if you're gonna make, nobody's gonna make the trade to not make the tournament anyway because they haven't made the tournament since.
But you're trading it basically like, would you rather have an absolute peak or in an absolute valley, or would you just rather stay in the middle?
I ask this question all the time.
This is what I'm gonna say. The NIT year, every year.
Well, no, nobody's gonna make that trade. Because they didn't make the big tournament anyway.
I agree.
If you're like, I love this question too because I ask it all the time. Would you trade? Baseball's a great example. Would you trade a World Series for making the playoffs every year? For instance, would you rather be the Braves and how many division titles did they win in a row? 12.
Yeah.
But only they got one World Series? No, I don't know that. Did they get one in that stretch?
They got one. Yep, they got one.
So they get one or. Let's say they don't get one, but they win 12 straight division titles. Or would you rather be the Marlins, who won the World Series twice, but sucked every other year besides those 2 years? I always tell people, now you have to have the caveat of you can't guarantee me I'll never win the World Series. You just can't guarantee me that I do. So making the playoffs 12 times and taking a swing at it with no guarantees, I always will take that. And people always call me crazy for that. But the reality is you don't like once you're through it, you forget about it. Like
I think about it all the time. The Toronto Raptors were the greatest example of this because they traded literally everything away to get 1 year of Kawhi Leonard, basically. Yeah. And they won the finals. It's like, was that worth it?
For them, it was because they hadn't had it. Look at the, look at the Dallas Mavericks. They had the most wins in basketball for a long time. Never got it. Never could get it until they beat the Heat later on. But like, do you trade that for your Raptors scenario? I don't think that you do. I wouldn't, because this is what happens, right? We're only 3 years removed from that, and everybody's already over it and got the pitchforks out.
This is what happens. This is K-State is to the lesser degree, but it turns into the Penn State scenario, where it's like you're building, you got there, and then you had a bad year, and now your expectations were where you left them, and now you didn't meet the expectations. And listen to me, I understand that you are way below expectations at K-State. I'm not saying that at all. But, like, that's just, there's a standard and things like that. And so, I don't know.
Well,
it's hypothetical.
Stay with K-State and look at Chris Kleiman. Chris Kleiman won
that's right.
10, 9, and 6 games, including a Big 12 title.
They won the Big 12 championship. In the next 2 years, they didn't make the Big 12 championship, but won 9 games or 8 games. And
9 games.
Like it.
9 games, including the 2 bowl game wins. So if you go and you're trying to set it out for Colin Klein, and we said this not to bring this back up, but I'll bring it back up. K-State fans better hope Colin Klein has the same level of success that Chris Kleiman did. If you're looking at this right now, you say, would you take a Big 12 championship once every 4 years and win 8 or 9 games a year? The answer to that question should be yes. You would take that in the Big 12. Absolutely. But people had the pitchforks out for Chris Kleiman. College, and we do this more. I don't know if we do it more. College fan bases, I have a hard time with, because the loudest group of them, no offense intended, are obnoxious. Like, what are your expectations? Like, are we living in any sort of reality here? Now, Jerome Tang's situation, 9th, going to be probably 15th in the Big 12. That ain't good enough. And that's like at the base level. The issue with Tang is the contract extension is very bad. That's the issue, because that isn't a good enough 3-year stretch to keep your job in the Big 12. Plus, now you have all the post-game things. We're losing control. You've alienated this team. You've potentially alienated the next team. Like, it was getting to a point where, I'll say what I said yesterday. 2 weeks ago, K-State doesn't make this decision.
100%.
It was getting to the point where they didn't really have a choice, and now they've had to make the choice that's really uncomfortable, which is to try to say, all right, we're doing this thing for cause.
Again, and let me say, I'll play. I think that, I've said my thoughts on this, but I think that what you just said is kind of the grasp for cause, right? Like, that's kind of what, and that's what K-State fans are up in arms about, is that all the national people that don't follow this, is what Wyatt's kind of saying, is that they're watching it and they say, well, all he said is that they don't deserve to wear the jersey and that he'd wear a paper bag on his head, and he got fired because of what he said in a press conference. But the real reason that I think that K-State fans know, and us that watch them all the time, is that there was 15 of those press conferences that were all different, and every one of them just kind of had it going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all excuses.
So that's the bigger overline. But again, is that cause? That's what the lawyers are for.
I don't think it is. I don't think K-State has a very good court.
But I think that that's what they're trying. I think that's what they're going to try to do.
It is. They're trying to do anything they can to save any amount of money off of $18 million that they
it's can. Not. That's my point. My point is that it's not fair to say. It's not fair to say that this he's got. And again, like we've talked about messaging about situations, like the messaging on this one made it seem like it was like he said those things on Wednesday night. We didn't like it and we fired him. It's like,
well, I mean, Wyatt Thompson just said how much that bothered Gene Taylor. So maybe
let me tell you. I mean, straw that broke the camel's back.
Naive. Yeah,
straw that broke the camel's back potentially there, but like it's not just that.
It's not. And look, again, this is a business decision right now. You know, there was an emotional component to it, absolutely, but it's a business decision right now on both sides.
Yeah,
I think you've got to be really careful with gauging any of this on the national reaction. Keep in mind a couple of things. All the coaches, as I said to Wyatt, all the coaches are going to defend Jerome Tang, right? Because they're coaches. They think coaches should get paid their buyout.
But there's more. I mean, it's
and all the insiders, like a national insider, right, who may take this, understand also that they talk to these coaches and these coaches' agents every single day. You don't want to be the national insider that goes out there and raises hell about, it's for cost. Michael Wilbon doesn't cover college basketball. He doesn't care what bridges he burns by saying they should fire him for cause tomorrow. What's he going to alienate? You've got national insiders that talk to these coaches all the time, and you don't want to compromise your relationship with somebody else and say, yeah, you know what? He probably deserved it, because there's other coaches out there that be like, hey, jerk. Like, don't you go out there spewing that nonsense.
I'll go as far as this, because I think that this is a little naive to think. Like, from what I've seen, and I've lived in the rabbit hole for the last 3, the only things that I've seen of people saying that, you know, its cause is Michael Wilbon and people that wear purple. And, like, that's what... And whatever it is, but, like, those are the only people on that side. Like,
almost everybody has a vested interest in the side of this that they're going to take. We are trying to not take a side and just present it out there.
All I'm saying by that here is saying that this is what these people are saying, this is what these people are saying.
Right. So let's live in reality of what the likelihood of the scenarios and situations are. We'll come back. We'll talk more about it on Sports Daily. Don't go away. Plus headlines I missed and your calls and comments.
This is 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, K248CY Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. 235 is heavy southbound heading on to K96 eastbound. Give yourself a few extra minutes to move through the area. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Decreasing clouds, very windy and warm today. High 73 with a southwest wind 20 to 30. Some gusts, though, over 40 miles per hour. Becoming clear tonight at 42. Sunny, breezy, and still warm on Wednesday. High 70. It's back over to windy on Thursday and much cooler with temperatures holding in the middle 50s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
97.5 and 1240 KFH. Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
And welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program, getting you ready for the busy golf season out there. Things are looking good. It's going to be really the first full season with all the tree work they've done out there, if you're familiar with Crestview Country Club. Give them a call. It's a great time to join. 36 holes of golf. Best pool in town, full tennis facility, bar and restaurant, all the festivities, and they've got all different kinds of memberships for you. Tell them we sent you when you call from Sports Daily. We've got a big hour coming up here. Headlines I probably missed incoming. We've got to talk about the Tyreek Hill situation as it pertains to the Kansas City Chiefs as well. We will get, kind of we haven't even really gotten to the latest or anything on Tang and what could be coming. He's got a big attorney. What is that attorney saying? All of those kinds of things. So it's all coming for you here in a busy hour of the show. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the Coca Dolce Dubai Chocolate Porter at all 3 WBC locations. Treat yourself and your sweetie to a special seasonal brew, Coca Dolce Dubai Chocolate Porter, infused with Coca Dolce chocolate, available now at WBC Pizza and Beer, made here. Rick says on YouTube, on Jerome Tang, they don't want to pay, but K-State would surely want the full buyout if somebody else came in and hired him. I think Rick's saying if somebody else hires him, they don't want to pay the full buyout. That's what they're hoping for, I think, is that Tang wants to coach that badly. I mean, that at the end of the day, that may be the reason for all of this. Like, take this amount of money and go coach right now, or do you want to draw this out and try to get it? We'll see how that works out. But you can always comment to us, YouTube, X, Facebook. You can also call us at 869-1240 on the KFH hotline. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected as well and listening on the Odyssey app. This is going to be a messy story to follow for a long time, TJ, and it's causing us to maybe miss some other things in the sports world. So, Max, headlines.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, Jacob's headlines that he probably didn't see here. We've got a couple of them. First of all, coming in the last 2 minutes, K-State men's basketball finally tweets it's game day versus Baylor, 8 p.m., Bramlage Coliseum. Nothing's going on, just a normal game.
Yep,
yeah, I love it. I love it whenever, it's always the big joke that the admin accounts will, if you get beat bad enough, they won't even tweet out a picture. Like, final score, 76-20.
It's why I appreciate what Wyatt Thompson does with us each and every week. Wyatt Thompson, who works for the school, is the voice of the school, comes on with us this year, especially in some tumultuous times, and lays it all out there for us. If you missed any of it, go back and listen to the Odyssey.
He does. All right, we got a couple here. First of all, maybe making a lot of college headlines. Have you seen the news about the MAC? Sacramento State is going to FBS.
I saw something about Sacramento State. I don't think I ever dug into it because I don't really care about Sacramento State. But okay, good for them.
They're moving up. They're going to the MAC because North Dakota State is as well. They're going to the what is it? Mountain West.
Yeah.
And Sacramento State is going to go to the MAC, which
North Dakota State and FBS is intriguing to me.
I agree. But listen to me. Sac State, obviously the MAC is like Illinois, Ohio, centrally located. That's not Sacramento. Listen to this. This is from College Football Kings. This is their deal to join the MAC. Includes paying for all the air travel out to California for the visiting teams. The Hornets are paying $18 million to the MAC to join the conference, $5 million to the NCAA to go from FCS to FBS, an estimated $2 million to $4 million on air travel for visiting MAC opponents for the next 5 years, in addition to their own travel costs for the away games, and won't take any conference money during the span. So all the money that the MAC pays out for their bowl winners or whatever that they always get, or the TV deals, they're not getting any of that. Instead, they are paying the MAC schools to come play them.
I'm going to guess that doesn't pay off on the bottom line. They're going to have to take a little time. It's going to take a little time. The SAC is headed to the MAC. I like it.
That's right. Then that leads you to the rivalry matchup that we're going to get of Ball State versus Sacramento State, and I'm not going to say anything else.
Let's go. The old Ball Sack showdown. Yes.
You can say it. I'm not going to.
I did not think about that. But now I'm in on this story. Now I'm in. Yeah. Ball State, Sac State. Let's go. Yes.
All right, let's keep going. What do we want to do next here? So a crossover season. We know a lot of our sports information director friends. A couple of days ago, this one just popped up on my timeline. Creighton softball accidentally tweeted out final score: Villanova 80, Creighton 69.
That's when you go and you don't flip the toggle on which account.
They were probably trying to post on like the women's basketball account or something.
Man, I've been there.
Somebody said, "Holy cow! Somebody woke up the bats in this one."
Yeah, I've been there on that one. That one hits home.
Yeah, I feel you. What else we got here? Are you aware? Callback for the listeners. The USC tweet about the astronaut starting quarterback situation? That
Yes,
they are
you
now
told me
one of
that.
25
Yeah.
one of 25
Yeah.
schools that have a Super Bowl winning quarterback and an astronaut, and then it's made its way and everybody's like making parodies of it now. Like I saw like Purdue is the only place to have a Hall of Fame running back and the guy that invented popcorn, things of that nature. Iowa State jumped in last night after their win over Houston and said they are one of one schools to beat 3 space-related teams: Central Florida, Houston, and Purdue.
There you go. What is Purdue space-related for, though?
I think that's where Buzz Aldrin went, or Neil Armstrong went, or something like that.
All right,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but
that's when. Listen, that's when Twitter's at its best. X is at its best.
That's right. That's right. All right, now we're gonna get more topical. These tie back to the Tang situation.
Okay.
One, our pal Andy Kennedy. Who's Andy Kennedy coach for? You know that answer?
Now, no, I do not.
UAB, American.
Okay.
He's the 6'5" coach opposite of Paul Mills that looks ginormous. All right, here you go. He made this quote that is making its rounds all over the place, and especially now around the Tang situation. After the game, when they lost to Tulane, they went 10 of 22 on layups from point blank, basically. And he said, "These are college scholarship players that are making more money than most people in this room. Is it too much to ask for you to make a layup? I mean, we are in bozo land, man."
Bozo land. Man, Andy Kennedy was at Ole Miss forever. I forget. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, is that too mean to the players?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And we'll talk about that. The old Tom Mars, the lawyer for Tang, he's digging up some receipts about the things that Coach Prime said this, and this guy said this, and this was cool. Coach K took their gear away.
Tom Mars, I don't know Tom Mars. I haven't talked to Tom Mars. He would love for this thing because he would love for this. Didn't he? He did Chambliss, right? He
there you go. I was going to ask you if you knew that one. Yeah.
He would love for this to become this big thing where he can just do this for 3 months. He would love that.
I agree. All right, one more from you. This is from a KU guy, Austin Eckert. He's on my timeline all the time. He pointed out the fact that Jerome Tang's tenure at Kansas State ended before Nigel Pack's college career, who played at Kansas State for multiple years before Tang even got there.
Nigel Pack's not done playing college basketball?
No, he's playing for OU right now.
What?
Yeah, it's like his 6th year, I think.
Headline I missed. It's got to be later than his 6th year.
Do you remember? That was a big headline back in the summer that Nigel Pack was getting looks in the portal from K-State and KU. He was going to go to KU for a second there.
Yeah, I do, but that didn't feel like that was this year. No, this is his, I guess this is his 6th year. Holy cow.
So Nigel Pack's career lasted longer than Jerome Tang's coaching career.
Goodness gracious. That's insane.
Wild. Remember whenever he got that car?
I tell people 16 points a game for OU right now.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I love bringing up the argument when people start talking about how funny it is of like how little people used to make in their NIL deals and stuff like that. And I said, remember when Nigel Pack got a car? We were like, holy cow, they gave him a car?
He got like $400,000, I think.
It was like $800,000 in a car. We're like, yeah, get lost, Miami. Okay, now
that'll never pay off.
Yeah.
Good for Nigel Pack. Did not realize he was still playing college basketball. That's the headline I missed, or maybe forgot. Maybe we should have another segment that's headlines I forgot. That would probably be even worse. I can't believe you didn't throw in the biggest headline of the week so far is that the Olympic Village ran through 10,000 condoms already.
I'm glad you saw that one.
I feel like we've had that story before too. I'm pretty sure that's been a thing at other Olympics. I think that's just kind of a thing that always happens. And I just can't wrap my head around that quite well. But it cracks me up every time. Cracks me up. That was a story that made you laugh. And the reaction to it, see, again, I need X to be the space of smart assery. I've said that before. And when you can get those stories where everybody chimes in, the Iowa State one you brought up today, that's when it's at its best. That's what I need. I don't need grandstanding from everybody that feels like they have to have an opinion on Jerome Tang's, firing. That's what I don't need X to be. There are headlines that I probably missed. Most of them I did. Appreciate his work on that. We'll come back. A little more on Tang. We'll get into Tom Mars, the latest on, the X's and O's of this thing. And We got to talk Tyreek Hill in this hour, too. His former teammates would like to have him back. I think the door's open. How real is that possibility? We'll have it all for you on another hour of Sports Daily. Stick around. It's Albracht in Cleveland on a Tuesday.
This is Sports Radio KFH.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else? You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food. But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with the 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Score a 2 for $5 deal on a sausage McMuffin with egg and more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
As a man, finding a truly great pair of pants can feel impossible. Some wrinkle the moment you sit down. Others look fine but don't travel well, don't move well, or completely lose their shape throughout the day. When you're flying, commuting, or packing light, most pants just aren't built for real life.
That's why there's Jack Archer. JackArcher.com makes the Jet Setter Tech Pant designed to be the one pair of pants you actually need. Comfortable enough for travel, polished enough for work, and versatile enough for wherever the day takes you. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. With flexible stretch, customizable fit options, and thousands of 5-star reviews, these are the pants you'll reach for every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order using code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
This is attorney Omid Azari from Azari Law. If you've been injured in an accident and feel like no one is fighting for you, it's time to fight back. Call Azari Law at 888-828-HURT. Just with one call, you can put a proven legal team on your side. Azari Law has been serving the DMV for over 15 years, proudly fighting for our local community. I was born and raised right here in the DMV, and my team is made up of experienced, reputable local attorneys dedicated to fighting for injury victims just like you. Follow us on all social platforms at azari.law. That's AZARI.LAW. Don't wait, don't settle. Fight back with Azari Law. With offices in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, my team and I are ready to stand up for you. Call 888-828-HURT. That's 888-828-HURT. And let us fight back for you.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. I-235 and I-135 are heavy southbound heading onto K-96 eastbound. Other than that, the main roads are running smoothly. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Decreasing clouds, very windy and warm today. High 73 with a southwest wind 20 to 30. Some gusts, though, over 40 miles per hour. Becoming clear tonight at 42. Sunny, breezy, and still warm on Wednesday. High 70. It's back over to windy on Thursday and much cooler with temperatures holding in the middle 50s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
The Wildcats.
3 wide open again, and it's perfect again.
Hit the court.
To the rim, layup good!
Right here.
Yeah! How about these Cats?
Be here every game as the Wildcats pounce the hardwood all season long on your home for Kansas State Wildcat basketball. 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
The commercials are over.
Yo, I haven't got all day.
869-1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Don't forget, you've got K-State basketball tonight on 97.5, 1240 KFH. Tune in at 7 for the broadcast start. Wildcats, of course, under the new interim coach, Matthew Driscoll. You can also listen online at kfhradio.com or for free on the Odyssey app. All right.
I got a question.
Yes.
If it was called the Tang Gang, is there a word that rhymes with Driscoll?
Not off the top of my head.
I need somebody in the comments needs to give me a word that rhymes with Driscoll because I got to have something.
Good.
I work in TV for a living. I relied heavily on the Tang Gang.
That's a good question. Yeah, I'll need some time on that, I think. It is Driscoll. He's got head coaching experience. It's pretty solid interim to have on the bench there, I think, for K-State. It's been interesting to see, too. Like, you've seen some public shows of support. Kostic, which surprised me a little bit. Abdi Bashir, Nate Johnson.
Marquise Noel just posted about it like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, Marquise Noel, but I mean players on the team this year.
Yeah, I agree.
It is pretty interesting. I think
Marquise just said, "I'm shocked and I'm disappointed in K-State sports. You got this all wrong. Pay my guy his money and just move on."
Yeah, it's not that simple though, right? It's not, and that's the
could be. They wanted to pay $18 million.
Yeah. Max says fiscal Driscoll.
The Driscoll fiscal year.
Yeah, that doesn't help for the fans, but it's a word that rhymes, which is part of the challenge on that one. Yeah, look, I Marquise Noel, I get it. Like that's what sucks about this. Again, like we go from I generally there's a lot about Jerome Tang I do appreciate. I don't think I have a lot in common with 20-year-old K-State fan. That's okay. I understand that. But I think there are a lot of things like Jerome Tang is exactly, to me, the kind of coach you want to be successful. And he wasn't successful enough, not even close. So you get to this situation where, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Marquise Noel has his back. Doesn't even surprise me that current players have his back. The problem is there's that part, and then there's the business part. And the business part is it was a bad contract, and they can't get out of the bad contract. And now they're going to try to do everything they can in a messy business way to get out of it. Ultimately, I don't think K-State wants this going to court. I can't imagine K-State believes they have a very good case on this, but they're trying to do other things. They're trying, and they've already tried, again, according to the report yesterday from the Manhattan Mercury, to say, we'll get you out of this thing and we'll settle on a smaller amount. We've seen comments.
It sounds like, from what we've heard, is that like that was the initial one of to be like, listen, we'll do this, we'll get it settled, we'll figure this out. And then I think it turned into no, just fire me. And then it's like, okay, well then can we just settle on this right now? And like I would imagine there was multiple attempts to try to get it to be like, let's just figure this out so we don't sue each other. And we'll just be, again, when there's millions of dollars on the line, who are we to say anything?
Again, right. It's not a business decision must be made here. Like at the end of the day, it's a bad contract. Now you've got to try to do everything you can to mitigate the badness of that contract. I don't think that K-State is, again, from just a business perspective, like we have to separate what we think about this kind of stuff at a personal and at a professional level. Jerome Tang didn't do anything that I'm aware of that we can see on the surface, right? We don't know what they have behind the scenes. He didn't do anything for cause. So there's that part. And then there's the part of like, well, yeah, K-State probably has an obligation to try to make the 18. Even if they make it 17, it's $1 million. So they're going to. And one way that's interesting is to try to say, if you want to keep coaching, then let's settle on a number so you can keep coaching. Because if not, if you take the buyout, you don't get to coach anymore for the length of that contract, which whatever it is, 5 more years, like you don't get to coach anymore. The team that hires you will have to pay the rest of your buyout at that point. Like there's all kinds of reasons for Tang to take that buyout. I mean, to take a settlement so that he can just go keep coaching. Or he says, you know what? No, I'm going to go sip Mai Tais on the beach with my $18 million. Forget you guys. If I want to 5 years from now, I'm 55 years old, I think. So I don't know what motivates. I don't know what he wants to do. I know Greg Marshall sat out from college basketball and took his full buyout. So these things, different people do different things all the time on these. And K-State is hoping, probably as much as they're, just trying to do whatever they can, that, yeah, maybe he'll take $10 million so he can go coach next year. We'd be okay with that. We'd rather pay $10 million now than $18 million over the next 5 years. Again, that's me speculating. I don't know that. But that, those are the new scenarios that are in front of us.
So the new developments yesterday, we talked about a little bit. Tom Mars is joining. They're, going to represent Jerome Tang, him and Bennett Spire. And the statement he gave Pete Thamel on ESPN is, if K-State's president and AD really think the school was embarrassed by recent events, that's nothing compared to the embarrassment that both of them are about to experience. Again, for one, that's lawyer talk. But two, I've said in this thing, I think that it can go as far as Jerome Tang wants it to go, basically. Or Jerome Tang's lawyers want it to go.
Tom Mars also told On3 that they would give K-State administration a chance to come to their senses. He tweeted out before it was even announced that he was on the case that it seems to me that making false statements and innuendo about a head coach for the specific purpose of avoiding a school's buyout obligation would constitute, quote, actual malice. So that tweet before he took the case implies that they may sue for more than the buyout here. They may sue for defamation.
That's why I'm saying is that it can go as far as they want it to go. They could go as far as taking it to court, trying to get their 18, and then defamation is saying that I can't get another head coaching job because nobody wants to hire a fired coach, and it's all legal mumbo jumbo, obviously, and all those things.
Pretty good case.
It's a good case. That's what. And will it get settled outside of court? I don't know. I think that if you're K-State, you want it to. If you're Jerome Tang, it's whatever. I mean, they have, from what we know,
something that they know of behind the scenes. That's what I'm saying. That's not public facing.
Exactly. And again, a good point for the devil's advocate of what I'm making here is the fact of do you think that K-State's not stupid? Gene Taylor isn't stupid.
His lawyer hopefully isn't.
But you're not going to make this decision and just say we have no grounds for cause, but we're going to do it anyways. They probably have an idea that something whatever it may be, whether it's enough or not, but they didn't just say yeah, screw it, let's see if we can do it. There's something going on that probably that we don't know about potentially. But again, we don't know, and we probably won't know unless it goes to court.
Yeah, look. David Beatty, this isn't unprecedented. David Beatty in Kansas, ultimately, how long did that take? 2 years, 3 years? They reached a settlement. Yeah. I think they promised him $3 million and they settled on $2.5 million. I don't think K-State has a case here unless they have information that we don't have, right? I just don't think they have a case. And they know that this going out and through court is a bad idea. I think their play is take what you can now and let's all go on and you can do whatever you want to do. Because if it's a buyout, if they settle on the full $18 million, if I'm K-State, then I say you're getting that over the course of the rest of your contract. You're getting it over 5 years. That means you must sit out for 5 years. If we settle and we give you the 18, it's got to be 5 years away from basketball. Second you start coaching again, boom, whatever clauses are in there, and I need to look at the contract too. Whatever clauses are in there get triggered, and you do not get $18 million. You get whatever that amount is. I mean, that's the only play they have.
Yeah.
I think, again, unless they have something that we don't know about, which seems very unlikely with Jerome Tang, and very unlikely, especially considering several of his current players are posting
kind things.
I mean, that's
about
what, like, and again, we're not lawyers, but like, whenever these kind of things happen, you start like, these high profile cases, you're gonna ask Abdi Bashir to testify. Like, that's the kind of thing that this would go to if it's getting into a court case. Is that like, it's like, what kind of guy was he, and like whatever, like it's all hearsay is what I'm saying. And that's what like is driving me nuts about this thing, is that like the people defending K-State on this thing are just like, it's like, well, yeah, you think he was a good guy, you should know about this stuff. And it's like, do you know about that? Like, you don't know. It's hearsay, guys. Like,
no. K-State fans right now that are trying to paint Jerome Tang as some kind of monster are just mad that they didn't win enough basketball games. That's it.
Correct.
That's it.
100%. That was my point.
The things that they loved 2 years ago, the jumping in the crowd with the fans, the bringing the couch out on campus, the things that they probably now are like, oh, that's so cheesy, that's so dumb.
Like
they
now
loving it when they 100%. Were winning.
Now they're turning it into the fact it's like wow, he did some really good PR to hide up the bad stuff. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just these people are so revisionist. It's driving me nuts.
Just tell it like it is. He didn't win enough basketball games, and I'm sick of the excuses he was making at the end of games this year. That's an okay thought.
Correct.
Just live there.
Yes, it's one thing. You can want him to get fired, and you can want him to not coach your basketball team anymore, and you can be annoyed with the way that this season went, with the things that we know that were said at press conferences and things of that nature. That's fine. But to sit here and like start trying to dig up other things to make it look like there's you're not a lawyer. What do you think that the lawyers are scrolling social media saying like, ooh, look at what this guy said. This burner account said this. Can we print that one out? Let's take that one with us. Like,
but they will be taking what the national accounts from the media have to say. They'll be taking Seth Greenberg's comments. They for sure will. Of course they will. It just what does any of it matter? I don't think this thing's playing out in court, and if it does play out in court, it'll eventually be settled before we get a verdict. There's no precedent that I know of that this runs all the way through.
I can't remember.
It's so unlikely that it doesn't really matter. It's not our money. Good luck, K-State. It's a bad contract. Again,
now the
lesson in all of this is stop with those insane contract extensions that are given out. Like, enough of that. If a coach wants to leave after a little bit of success, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, we're done with all that.
The hindsight move obviously is 2020 here, but I've seen somebody make the argument of saying that like, hey, I'm Gene Taylor. I just hired a great coach in basketball. Like, I'll do it again. Like, that's the approach that, hindsight will tell you to just do. But again, it's hindsight. It's 2020, obviously.
You just go hire a coach and move on. It's not going to. Here's the thing. The reality of the basketball itself, it's not going to be worse than what it's been this year. It won't be. It can't be.
I love.
They may not be able to get the same caliber of player. That's one concern. But that caliber of player wasn't winning them any games anyway. So
I love people talking about how it's Baylor coming in, and they're like, "Oh man, like what if Jerome Tang goes and coaches for Baylor? Like he could help them win." Like, yeah, Baylor needs help coaching the coachless K-State last place Wildcats. Like,
Baylor's not very good this year anyway.
It's true.
And if Jerome Tang wants to go back and rejoin Scott Drew for a little while, that's why you take a buyout. That's why you take a settlement. Yeah, I mean, look, if right now if I'm K-State, I probably. I don't know that I'd play this out the way that they've played it, but but I'll just say I get it. I get why they are. If I'm Jerome Tang's camp, if I'm Jerome Tang, now he's got a lawyer involved, so who knows what's being put in his ear. But if I'm Jerome Tang and I want to coach, right? If I want to keep coaching, I'd say give me $15 million and then I'd go get a job. If I want to stick it to K-State because I'm pissed, I'd say no, give me $18 million. I mean, give me every penny that my contract says you got to give me. And if we want to take this to cause, let's take it to cause because you don't have a case. And I don't think that they do. So it's really,
Like, the whole thing is, what is Jerome Tang motivated to do in the short-term future? Like, that's what all of this hinges on, unless he's really angry right now and wants to get into a different kind of lawsuit, which I doubt it. It's, do you want to keep coaching? Do you want to take the money? Do you want to just, sit back and relax? Like, I don't know any of that either. Just like we don't know what behind-the-scenes things K-State might have. We don't know what motivates Jerome Tang on this, other than he said he wants the full buyout. If he wants the full buyout, I
meant to ask Wyatt. I was talking to somebody yesterday. We've talked about this on the show. Think about the timeline of events since November in the state of Kansas or surrounding. Like, you know what I mean? It started off, Dylan Edwards redshirted, left the team. Then Chris Kleiman had the breakdown at the Utah game. Then Chris Kleiman retired. Then Colin Klein got hired. And then Paul Mills almost had a heart attack. And then Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL and the Chiefs missed the playoffs. And then the Chiefs moved to Kansas. And then where we go from there? Then we have the Darren Peterson saga that we've been dealing with for 3 months now. And then we have a Bill Self scare in the hospital. And then something else I'm forgetting. And then Jerome Tang gets fired.
It sucks.
The snow globe won't stop shaking.
It's brutal.
Imagine, like, I think about this one, like, just think back in 2023. Like, K-State was coming off of a Big 12 championship and a Sugar Bowl appearance and a trip to the Elite Eight in the same academic year. And now neither of the coaches are here. That's
college
crazy.
Sports is a hard place to live. It is. It's tough. And it's been K-State has done such a good job, I think, resource-wise to these programs. Like, they've done a good job of being in the mix. I think the football team has been successful enough. Basketball, though, has not. And
again, Kleiman is not the same situation at all.
No, and they're playing in the best league in the country, the most high-profile league. The opportunities there are tremendous, and they're just not like that. Look at Houston and Iowa State last night. Look at Kansas and Arizona and Texas Tech. And the thing, like, these universities are on fire for basketball. They're on fire for it. And K-State can't win enough games consistently. I don't know who they're going to hire next. But K-State's got to be sitting and trying, K-State doesn't want to be in the same class of basketball program as Cincinnati. K-State needs to be closer to the top, and they weren't winning enough games. And it's really unfortunate that they weren't, but they weren't. And we weren't ever getting any good reasons why, right? There was never it was different reasons. It was weird. I'm not saying in any of this K-State didn't need to make a change. They absolutely needed to make a change. It's just a really expensive one. Like, the whole conversation hasn't been, should K-State move on from Jerome Tang? It's, can K-State move on from Jerome Tang? All year that's been the conversation. I didn't think they could afford the buyout. Should they move on after what we've seen the last 3 years? Yes. It hasn't been good enough. No question it hasn't been good enough. You have a flash in the pan and 3 bad years and 1 awful year most recently. Now we've got the business end of this getting in the way. This is, and that's the thing too. Like, these buyouts, like, this doesn't have anything to do with the new era of college athletics or anything like that. This is the story as old as time. Coach gets a ridiculous contract, school deals with buyout. Like, we've had that story going for 20 years. Let's talk about something else when we come back. How about Tyreek Hill to the Chiefs? You on board with that? If it's not for much money, we'll discuss next.
This is Sports Radio KFH.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else? You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food. But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with a 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I ordered the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Score a 2 for $5 deal on a sausage McMuffin with egg and more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
As a man, finding a truly great pair of pants can feel impossible. Some wrinkle the moment you sit down. Others look fine but don't travel well, don't move well, or completely lose their shape throughout the day. When you're flying, commuting, or packing light, most pants just aren't built for real life.
That's why there's Jack Archer. JackArcher.com makes the Jet Setter Tech Pant designed to be the one pair of pants you actually need. Comfortable enough for travel, polished enough for work, and versatile enough for wherever the day takes you. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. With flexible stretch, customizable fit options, and thousands of 5-star reviews, these are the pants you'll reach for every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order using code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
This is attorney Omid Azari from Azari Law. If you've been injured in an accident and feel like no one is fighting for you, it's time to fight back. Call Azari Law at 888-828-HURT. Just with one call, you can put a proven legal team on your side. Azari Law has been serving the DMV for over 15 years, proudly fighting for our local community. I was born and raised right here in the DMV, and my team is made up of experienced, reputable local attorneys dedicated to fighting for injury victims just like you. Follow us on all social platforms at azari.law. That's AZARI.LAW. Don't wait, don't settle. Fight back with Azari Law. With offices in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, my team and I are ready to stand up for you. Call 888-828-HURT. That's 888-828-HURT. And let us fight back for you.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Main roads are looking good, but I-235 and I-135 are still a little heavy southbound heading onto K96 eastbound. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey, Wichita traffic.
Weather.
Decreasing clouds, very windy and warm today. High 73 with a southwest wind 20 to 30. Some gusts, though, over 40 miles per hour. Becoming clear tonight at 42. Sunny, breezy, and still warm on Wednesday. High 70. It's back over to windy on Thursday and much cooler with temperatures holding in the middle 50s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Not everybody is, top end. Not everybody is Mahomes or Brady. You have to have quarterbacks that you can just trust. And that's what Sam Darnold will probably be the rest of his career. Yeah, he won that one, but, the defense carried him. However he parses this out, he's still got a Super Bowl.
The Dan Patrick Show, middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH. The Wildcats.
3 wide open again, and it's perfect again.
Hit the courts.
To the rim, layup good.
Right here.
Yeah. How about these Cats?
Be here every game as the Wildcats pounce the hardwood all season long. On your home for Kansas State Wildcat basketball.
K-State at home in Manhattan hosting Baylor. The Wildcats and the Bears. Live coverage of K-State men's basketball, 7 o'clock Tuesday night on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Wichita's most listened to sports radio.
I scream along at the top of my lungs. It's a way to release my rage.
chill, dude.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Oh, okay, take it easy. We're going on the air.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Jake Albracht, TJ Cleveland here with you on a Tuesday. We'll put Tang to the side unless you have a comments or commentary you'd like to chime in with us here. Let's talk Tyreek Hill, TJ. Tyreek Hill was released by the Dolphins and is coming off of some injuries, is older, all of these things. But he's always a fit with the Chiefs, isn't he? Right? I mean, I think he is. I don't know why he wouldn't be. And now, do you know the answer to this? Is this a situation, too, where it's league minimum, right?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like the Dolphins are paying his contract, right?
Right. So it's one of those comeback. It can be on league minimum.
That was the biggest, hardest part that we've talked about, as he has been unhappy in Miami, I guess, has been like, well, bring him back to the Chiefs. It's like the Chiefs cannot afford to pay that contract that he signed over there. But if the contract's gone, then, at the layman's level for us, if the Chiefs can sign him for cheap, then why wouldn't you do it?
I mean, he obviously wants to come there. He made that clear last year.
The thing is he's talked all the game about he wants to come to Kansas City, but like if it's between Kansas City for league minimum or somebody else for not league minimum, how bad do you want to come to Kansas City? Because Kansas City can't pay him hardly as much as he would want to get paid.
Right. He'll be 32 years old. He's coming off of an injury-plagued year, certainly. And the year before that, when he did play in the games, it wasn't as productive. Like, there's been a clear drop-off. Who do you trust more in the offense, Tyreek Hill or Xavier Worthy? I mean that is a legitimate question. I think those are the kinds of things that you've got to ask if you're the Chiefs. I think this. If you can get Hill back for the minimum, and it has to be the minimum or something close to it, then it does give you options with Rice and Worthy, and you will learn about Travis Kelce. It gives you as good an option at cost, I think, as you're going to find. They drafted Jalen Royals last year. What is he going to bring to the table eventually? Like, I'm not in the camp of the Chiefs going and drafting a wide receiver. I would tell it to you this way. I would much rather see Tyreek Hill for a year on the league minimum next year and using your draft resources somewhere else than a first or second round wide receiver again.
Oh, that's yeah, 100%. I agree with that 100%. I don't think they should draft a wide receiver in the first two rounds. I think that, with what they have, if it looks like, what would it be? Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyreek Hill?
Well, what's going to happen with Royals?
I'm saying starting three next year.
Yeah. If
those
that was,
three,
if assuming assuming Hill has enough in the tank to be in the starting three.
Yeah, is Hill going to play next year? I understand he got hurt. How bad did he get hurt? I guess.
I think that you've got Jalen Royals there. Hollywood Brown's probably not coming back. Juju was a 1-year deal, right? Is that right? Juju was a 1-year deal when he signed. We can check that real quick. Look, I just, it makes sense if he comes back for the minimum is I think the real part of this.
This says the ACL reconstruction typically spans 9 to 12 months. He's getting blood flow. That's a crazy injury if you're talking about blood flow. But it sounds like there's still benchmarks to cross as he moves towards a return to football activity and an eventual return to play.
I don't know that, Brashard Smith's an option in the passing game. Travis Kelce, I think you got to look at it in totality. Like, if Kelce retires, then you're probably not comfortable with Tyreek Hill, chiseling him into a role as your third best receiver. That's like, but if Kelce comes back, Hill coming back makes some sense to me. If it's for the minimum, why wouldn't you do it? He wants to try. I mean, it's always worth a shot. What's Tyquan Thornton's contract? Because I'd love to see Tyquan Thornton come back. I thought Tyquan Thornton flashed in the deep game. It was he's a free agent. I would love to see that. That's what I mean, though. Like, if you can get Tyquan Thornton to come back, go get Hill for a minimum. We'll see on Kelsey. I'd rather do all of that and run the ball more than go draft another wide receiver early. That to me, like, I'm over that right now. I'm over that. Patrick Mahomes shouldn't need first-round wide receiver. He's better than that, right? Like, go get somebody. Where did Puka Nacua get drafted? Go take your swings on those kinds of players, right? Go take your swings in the middle of drafts where you've been good anyway. You just drafted Jalen Royals pretty dang high. Can you at least see what you got there? What about the tight end from TCU, Casey? What about him? Like, are we just done with it?
Did you just call him Casey?
Oh yeah, not KU's tight end.
Jared Casey.
That's awesome.
I love Jared Casey.
Not Jared Casey. What about Wiley? That was a high draft pick. Like, are we
Wiley tore his ACL?
I know he did, but like, we can't just close the book on these players that you draft high. Like, can we at least see what these guys have in the tank? They haven't had a chance. I would take give me Hill on the minimum.
I agree. The injury thing is interesting because I knew that he was going to be, it would be a scenario where he may not be the same when he comes back, but I wonder what's realistic for him to be able to come back. Will he be able to go week 1? It sounds like there's not an answer to that. It sounds like it's a lot like the Patrick Mahomes situation, honestly. Like, it may be the same kind of timeline.
Yeah. I mean, again, think about the capital on Wiley, on Royals, on Rice, on Worthy. Like, these have all been you got it. Like, they can't all not that Rice has been a miss, but they can't all be misses. Like, they can't be. So going and let's take another wide receiver in the first round. Like, that's not working. That philosophy is not working. Hasn't been working. Go invest in your defense. Invest in your running games. Like, do those kinds of things, Chiefs. And if Tyreek Hill will come play for nothing, that's worth a shot.
Yep.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, if he doesn't have the juice, if he doesn't have all of that stuff, he at least has chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. He at least, knows the offense. And let Kareem Hunt probably be a decent example for us of there's some value in that. Kareem Hunt's got no juice, but he still had value to the team.
Mm-hmm.
He saved their butts in a lot of ways. So why not? Why not? And we'll see. Maybe Tyreek Hill left the Chiefs because of money. Let's not forget that either. Tyreek Hill may, in his mind, not have league minimum on the brain at all.
That's what I'm saying. Is that it feels like it's up to Tyreek Hill. Like, the Chiefs, I would be enamored, shocked if the Chiefs don't call him. Because I imagine, Chris Jones is tweeting about it, saying, time to come home, Tyreek Hill. And Chris Jones tweets whatever the hell he wants. But I think that if you could figure out a way to do it, like, the Chiefs are going to try, it's up to Tyreek Hill. If he's willing to kind of swallow pride and be like, listen, man, I know I'm in my 30s and I just came off of destroying my leg. Like, league minimum is fine for me. Or is he going to be like, hey, Raiders, you think you got $5 million in you or something like that?
And let's not overthink it either. You've got Mahomes coming off an ACL. You've got Hill coming off an ACL. You've got Kelsey, trying to piece it together. I don't think none of us are advocating let's just run it back. That's not what I mean at all. It's just like, if this player's out there for nothing and he'll come for nothing, take him for nothing. And what's the worst that can happen? You cut him? Who cares at that point? Bring him in, see what he's got left. Bring him back slowly. Mahomes has got to come back slowly anyway. Put him on injured reserve for a little bit and see what you can get. Wiley, by the way, on that injury, he's fine now.
Yeah. Should be.
Yeah, should be fine. Injury-wise, should be fine. But they can't keep swinging and missing on players in the first rounds of drafts. Whoever it is, when we mock that out, whoever it is, better be a good player. I don't care what position it is. Like, there is not a position on the field outside of quarterback where Chiefs could, as long as it's a good player, where we look back on it and be like, well, that was a stupid pick. It's pick 9. You just have to have a good player. It could be a good right tackle. There are people that think they're taking a tackle. We don't think that, but there are people. If it's a good right tackle, great, good pick. Who cares? Move on with your life.
That's what I'm saying. Like Josh Briscoe said, he was team wide receiver. Like if they drafted a wide receiver there, it's not our first choice, but I mean that's Carnell Tate. Like you're going to get an all-pro wide receiver probably.
Far, I don't think. Is he?
But I don't. That's an example. But like you know what I mean. If you're taking a wide receiver at pick 9, he's going to be the better wide receiver than you've taken of. Better prospect than Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, all the guys that you've taken at the end of the drafts, end of rounds.
CBS's latest mock does have Jeremiah Love. I think it's the best thing that will happen to the Chiefs in this draft are that teams get desperate. It's a tough year to be picking at 9 when it's not a good quarterback class. You'd love to be picking at 9 in a good quarterback class because teams are going to trade up and move around, and all of those really good players then at that point are just going to fall on down to you. But right now we think there'll be 1 quarterback taken.
That's so crazy. When's the last time that there was only 1 quarterback in the top 10?
We could look that up. I don't know. There have been some years.
That feels like that's super rare. Usually people reach and try to think a quarterback is top 10.
Let's see if AI can get us a quick answer to that. Wow. 2022, there were no quarterbacks taken in the top 10. That was the Kenny Pickett year. Kenny Pickett went first. I don't, Mekhi Lemon, I think, is the second best receiver on this list out of USC. Like, please don't do that. Please don't. Oh, Jordan Tyson. I actually do like Jordan Tyson. But don't do it.
Man,
don't do it.
I watched Jordan. If they pick Jordan Tyson, I've got some highlights in the tank. I watched him cook K-State last year.
I do like Jordan Tyson, but I don't think it's But again, to my point a while ago, if Jordan Tyson, if they draft him there and he's awesome, fine. Like we're not going to get mad at it. More than anything else, it just has to be a good player that is a key and meaningful player for the next 5 or 6 years. Has to be. They cannot miss with an early round pick again. They're to the point in their franchise where rebuilding is such a big part of this, and these teams that are always good almost never get the kind of opportunity they're getting this year, which is to pick high. Almost never. When was the last time the Ravens had a high pick? How many high picks did the Patriots have during their dynasty? Hell, Tom Brady got hurt early in the year, and they still didn't have a high pick because Matt Castle won like 9 games. So just don't screw the pickup. Don't get cute with it. Just take the best player, whoever it is. I don't care, except quarterback. Don't take a quarterback. Other than that, everything's on the table. Tyreek Hill back to the Chiefs. I would say.
I bet it's
70% chance.
70%. Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. All right, we're coming right back. Don't go away. More Sports Daily Round.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
This tanking has been around this season. The Jazz were fined $100,000 for sitting Lauri Markkanen in multiple games. So the discipline is public, but the behavior didn't change and probably won't change. The league may mean business, but intent and impact are not the same.
The Dan Patrick Show, middays from 11 until 2 on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Hi, this is Stephanie with Girls on the Run, Heart of Kansas. Looking for a great time that gives back? Join us for Brews, Clues, and Running Shoes, a superhero versus villains themed scavenger hunt and pub crawl fundraiser. Grab your crew, solve clues, sip the brews, and make a difference today. Spots are limited and prices increase after March 1st. Register today at girlsontherunks.org. And we're glad Odyssey serves.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
2 years ago, Minnesota Timberwolves star guard Anthony Edwards pissed a lot of people off by shooting left-handed at the skills competition on All-Star Saturday night, drawing criticism from legends of the NBA and current players in the league. Ant-Man stepped up in a big way on Sunday night, winning All-Star Game MVP. That maturity from Anthony Edwards and his desire to play well helped the All-Star Game be great. I'm Nick Castos.
Presented by T-Mobile, the official wireless partner of Odyssey Sports. With an awesome network and great savings, there's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit your neighborhood store to make the switch today.
Some places take you away. Some bring you together. Marathon does both. Marathon is Florida's family key, with something for everyone. You'll find museums and wildlife refuges, wide open beaches, miles of warm, clear water, and the historic 7-mile bridge. For more about Marathon, visit flakeys.com/marathon.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
As a man, finding a truly great pair of pants can feel impossible. Some wrinkle the moment you sit down. Others look fine but don't travel well, don't move well, or completely lose their shape throughout the day. When you're flying, commuting, or packing light, most pants just aren't built for real life.
That's why there's Jack Archer. JackArcher.com makes the Jet Setter Tech Pant designed to be the one pair of pants you actually need. Comfortable enough for travel, polished enough for work, and versatile enough for wherever the day takes you. The Jet Setter Tech Pant is wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, and built for all-day comfort. With flexible stretch, customizable fit options, and thousands of 5-star reviews, these are the pants you'll reach for every day.
Jack Archer, ready when you are. For a limited time, get 15% off your first order using code GETJACK at jackarcher.com. Again, that's promo code GETJACK at jackarcher.com for 15% off your first order.
This is attorney Omid Azari from Azari Law. If you've been injured in an accident and feel like no one is fighting for you, it's time to fight back. Call Azari Law at 888-828-HURT. Just with one call, you can put a proven legal team on your side. Azari Law has been serving the DMV for over 15 years, proudly fighting for our local community. I was born and raised right here in the DMV, and my team is made up of experienced, reputable local attorneys dedicated to fighting for injury victims just like you. Follow us on all social platforms at azari.law. That's AZARI.LAW. Don't wait, don't settle. Fight back with Azari Law. With offices in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia, my team and I are ready to stand up for you. Call 888-828-HURT. That's 888-828-HURT. And let us fight back for you.